Well, good afternoon, everyone. And they say that time is a cruel mistress, and she certainly is to airframes. And here we have my four SES Cobras, SES Cobras. They are A1 AH1Fs to the Jordanian modernised standards. So they have modern fire control systems, countermeasures systems, and the ability to fire Hellfires. Now, they of course single-engined aircraft, so they tend to use two Hellfires, tow missiles. This one here has got some Mistral missiles under the stub pylon there. They're fully equipped with good countermeasures, and they have provided really effective service. Some of these are carrying Azuni rocket pods there for extra punch. Now, unfortunately for airframes which were kind of entering the Malagasy service in the 1980s, and the Malagasy involvement with the Cobra goes back to its involvement in Vietnam, these are now at the end of their working lifespan. And also, if you take a hit to a single-engined attack helicopter, you've pretty much had it. There are benefits, however, in a single-engined attack helicopter, and one is that the power plant servicing is easy because you've only got one, and you've got less maintenance. But in terms of manoeuvrability and airframe life, these have now been surpassed. They tend to operate with the MBB 105 CM Scout helicopter here, which again was recently modified, but again that's kind of an older airframe now. So, as progress has come on, the Malagasys then took on some ex-US Marine Corps AH-1Ws. Now, these were cut and shut jobs I did using the spare parts from the Dream model Venom. There's a Venom, which comes with pretty much the whole of the AH-1Z fuselage, but doesn't come with enough to build both kits in one box. It's a bit disappointing. So the AH-1Ws were procured by the Malagasys, mainly for service of ships, because they have the twin-engine reliabilities. Now, the Malagasys, looking ahead to 2035 and the future, have procured the first of their Zulu Vipers, as they're now called. They're not called Cobras anymore, they've been rebranded. And these are the excellent Dream model kits. And I've done this one here with two Iris T missiles, and they're carrying, this one's got some tows, some rocket pods, Hellfires, and this one's got some drone launchers. The Salty Sea Dog, Salty Sea Dog long-range missile, which is like a Spike long-range missile, and a data link pod, and these are all data linked together with the longbow radar. They're data linking into the other aircraft and then into other platforms like the Venom, which can do the scouting role and can be armed in its own right. So what is going to happen? Well, first of all, unfortunately, it's a sad day for the AH-1F SES Cobras. It is their retirement birthday date, or their retirement day rather. So these will be retired to the deep storage. They're still useful airframes, so they will be placed in storage. No, they're not going to be sold to Ukraine. They are far too valuable as a war reserve to do that, so they will be kept in storage. The reserves will then start flying the AH-1Ws, which are my kit bash aircraft, mainly because of the twin engine reliability there. And the Army is also receiving Apaches, which I've covered in a separate video, but the reserves will now fly the AH-1Ws. Interestingly, the fully upgraded SES Cobra was probably a step ahead with the DIRCM on the stub pylons there to the AH-1Ws. However, the AH-1W has a much better, in this format, exhaust suppression system, which is to the latest standards of the Zulu Cobras. The Zulu Cobras will then go on to the front line, so there'll be 18 Whisky Cobras, and then the Zulus, or the Viper as I should correctly call it, will go to the front line, the MAGTAFs, to support the foreign legions, the amphibious forces primarily, with the Apaches, the new AH-1M Apaches, which are reconditioned. There's a separate video for those. They will go on to primarily support the bulk of the army forces, with the Vipers being the main expeditionary force. So I hope that makes some sense. So here we are in the Snakepit retirement, reserves, front line primarily amphibious, and primarily the Apaches to support the bulk of the army formations. Take care, goodbye.